Hello and a very good morning to you. You're welcome to Frontline TV newspaper headlines for this beautiful Monday morning. My name is Musa Calvin, your host on the program. Hope you have a wonderful time listening to the newspaper headlines for today. And in case if you want to get the full details of what you're going to be watching or hearing, you can rush to the newspaper headlines and also get a copy where you'll be able to get more of the details of the newspaper headlines. Today we're going to start off with This Day newspaper. This Day newspaper has as its leading story, El-Rufai, Tinubu planning life presidency, not genuine Democrat. This one is credited to El-Rufai. And when you take a look at the topmost part of This Day newspaper, you will see the story Unreconciled Federation Funds. FACC awaits NNPCs on $42.37 billion OAGF on 2 trillion naira pending payments. And then just at the top of the inscription of this day, you'll see that Tinubu to declare 2025 editors and annual conference open. When you take a look at towards the down part of This Day newspaper, you will see the picture of Zenith Bank NBBF Women's Basketball League. Women in sports, you see their full picture there. And don't forget the last leading story from This Day newspaper is UK, Canada, Australia, others announce recognition of State of Palestine. More Israeli allies to follow. Now, that's the much that we're going to take from This Day newspaper. And then now moving on to the Nigerian Tribune. The Nigerian Tribune has as its leading story, CBN faces balancing act as calls grow for lower interest rates. CBN faces balancing act as calls grow for lower interest rates. And then the red part of that write-up says, strengthening coordination between fiscal and monetary policy. Economy needs to be stimulated via funds injection, and also MPR easing should be gradual to prevent unintended market dislocation. Now, from the top part of the Nigerian Tribune, you will see Ekiti 2026, 10 APC, PDP, ADC aspirants push for party tickets. And by its side, you see UK, Canada, Australia recognize Palestinian statehood. Now, if you look towards the main bold picture there, on its left-hand side, you will read or you will see that NIMET predicts 3-day rain thunderstorms in Lagos, FCT, Rivers, Delta, and others. NIMET predicts 3-day rain thunderstorms in Lagos, FCT, Rivers, Delta, and others. And still also the Nigerian Tribune is also carrying it that Tinubu to declare 2025 editors annual conference open. And concerning health matters, AI can now predict who will go blind years before doctors can. And also, Ondo NLC demands new minimum wage, writes Aiyedatiwa. All this, you get the full gist when you get a copy or grab a copy of the Nigerian Tribune. You are watching newspaper headlines from Frontline TV coming to you live and direct. Now we're going to move over to the Leadership newspaper. The Leadership newspaper doesn't have much stories, but you will see here as its leading story, Tantita Security Services Nigeria Limited. And this one is saying, excitement as President Tinubu commissions facilities renovated by Tantita at Sultan Bello Mosque in Kaduna. Then the topmost part of the Leadership newspaper is talking about Dangote Refinery is Nigeria's future. Otedola tells Dapman. Otedola is telling Dapman that Dangote Refinery is Nigeria's future. And also we have it that African Democratic Congress struggle for foothold in Southwest. And these are just few of the leading stories from the leadership newspaper. Don't forget its newspaper headlines. And then we'll now take a look at the Daily Trust. The Daily Trust newspaper, that is the newspaper you can trust, which is Daily Trust. The leading story is actually an appreciation and goodwill message. And if you take a look at the picture there boldly, there's a picture of the president of Nigeria talking about Ahmed Bola Tinubu. He is there, and the leading, one of the leading stories again, if you take a look at the top of that appreciation and goodwill message, 53 security men killed in 2 weeks. 53 security men killed in 2 weeks. Now that is coming from the newspaper you can trust, which is the Daily Trust. Now moving over to the Guardian newspaper. The Guardian newspaper has as its leading story 2027 political divisions deepen over Tinubu's reforms. The full story will be found on page 6. That is 2027 political divisions deepen as that is over Tinubu's reform. And they are also having the same picture as the previous newspaper, that is the appreciation and goodwill message. And Otedola to Dapman, adapt to change, innovative or perish, be innovative or perish. That one is coming from Otedola to Dapman. Those are the few leading stories from the Guardian newspaper. Now I will take a look at the Vanguard newspaper and what it has to say. Also, from the Vanguard newspaper, they're also having it that Tantita Security Services Nigeria Limited, there's that excitement, the same story as also the Guardian newspaper, that President Bola Tinubu commissions facilities renovated by Tantita at Sultan Bello Mosque in Kaduna State. Then, still Otedola to Dapman, your business model outdated. Dangote, transforming petroleum sector. This one is still coming from Otedola to Dapman. And then crude oil imports hit record high as Dangote refinery reshapes trade flow. The Vanguard newspaper too doesn't have much of leading stories, just little. Then that brings us to the end of the Vanguard. But then we'll now move on to Blueprint. Blueprint newspaper. It says federal government to unleash EFCC, ICPC on contractors over slow progress. Targets April, June 2026 deadline. The federal government is ready to unleash on EFCC. They're ready to unleash EFCC and ICPC on contractors. Abuja, Kaduna, Kano, Abuja, Lokoja, 722-kilometer roads. That is actually the bone of contention in regards to that leading story. And also the Blueprint newspaper is talking about a tribute to a victorious lady at 65, talking about the wife of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Oloremi Tinubu, as she clocks 65. Congratulations to her, and we all wish her also a happy birthday. Boldly, the picture there is of the wife of the President of Nigeria, Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oloremi Tinubu, as she clocks 65. That's the much from the Blueprint. Now, moving on to the Punch newspaper. The leading story from the Punch newspaper says, Ibas rejects Assembly's move to probe 6 months spending. Ibas rejects Assembly's move to probe 6 months spending. And also, ex-administrator, that is Ibas, insists lawmakers lack power to question tenure. You'll get the full gist when you obtain the copy of the Punch newspaper. Also, CSOs urge Fubara to hold Ibas accountable. Now, from the topmost part of the Punch, just out on the line under the name Punch, you will see Dangote Refinery. Change has come to the oil sector. Nigerian economy, Otedola tells Dapman. And still from that sector, crude oil to domesticate refineries hits 67.6 million barrels. And it's also carrying another story that Borno terrorist attack victims hospitalized in Cameroon. Now that is all that we have from the Punch newspaper. And that brings us to the end of the Nigerian headlines from Frontline TV. Thanks for watching.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to today's episode of the Morning Conversation on Frontline TV. I am Young Juna.
And I'm Hepzibah Joseph.
Yes, so last time we spoke about hygiene, how you can keep your environments clean and stay healthy, because at the end of the day, hygiene means good health, right?
Yeah.
So today we are going to be talking about mindful living. We're just going to give you, some tips about how you can stay sane as a Nigerian living in Nigeria, because we know how crazy the country is. So let's be honest, life in Nigeria now is not easy at all. There's nothing that is easy in this country. From how the cost of living keeps going up, the price of food, fuel prices every day, and people are losing their jobs, and then it feels like everywhere you turn there's one problem or the other, and it's pretty tough, that.
In times like this, we hear things like take it easy, be mindful, but you agree with me that it's easier said than done. And sometimes you ask how, when, where will I start from? The whole thing is looking like the world is crashing on you. There are times that you just wake up in the morning and everything's just irritating you. You're just angry for nothing.
Yeah, but the truth is that mindful living doesn't mean you should ignore reality. We are not trying to push out that notion that you should just forget about the whole bad thing. We are just trying to say that in as much as there's all the wrong going on, you should try to find peace in the small things that are around us, in small ways to hold on to your peace even in the middle of chaos. And so sometimes when you think about your day, like you wake up in the morning, before you get out of your bed, you're already thinking about, what I'm going to eat, the transportation from my house to my place of work. The price of transportation is increasing every day, and then you're also thinking about fuel. It's expensive if for those who have cars, and then your salary or allowance might not even be enough to cater for your needs, let alone your wants. And before 9 a.m. you're already going bonkers in your mind, you're already stressed out, you're already tired, and then you scroll through your phone and you're seeing bad news. It's already like emotionally and psychologically draining, and you just want to, sometimes you just feel like maybe the best way to solve all of this is if I just go away from this world physically, if I no longer exist. But please do not have that thought in your mind. So we are just going to give you some tips on how you can be able to manage all of these things. And please pay keen attention, because some of these things are very relatable and sometimes we overlook it. Or they say it to us sometimes, but we just don't really put it into practice. But I promise you, if you do, it's going to be a lot much better for you. So the first thing here is control what you can, and then release what you cannot. You can't change the fuel price, first of all, as a single person. You cannot go and change the price of the fuel, because that is not it's not really what
is above us.
Yes, it's above us. Thank you. It's above the higher authorities are the ones to, and then the you can also decide how you respond to it. Since you can't change it, how you respond to it is what is important. And instead of getting consumed by anger all day, just channel other energy into something within your control, like a side hustle, for instance. If you put in all that energy, picture it, all the time you spend complaining about, oh, how the economy is bad, how all of this, oh, you're tired, you're this, the president is not doing this, the governors are not doing that. If you carry all of that time and all of that energy and channel it into a business,
Be
you will see
productive.
you will see the
Make good use of your time.
fruitful outcome it will bring for you at the end of the day. And it's just also even resting your mind as well. Just taking a few minutes to just like
Have little time.
have little time. You know what? I'm not doing
Cry.
this. I'm not to cry. So like, that's it. Just channel the energy.
It's not
to
everything
things.
you lament about.
Yes.
There are some things that are not meant to even get into your mind or even to stay there, giving it a space. It's not necessary. It just affects your peace.
And the peace of mind is like what even keeps us alive. Because if you don't have peace of mind, you want to feel like taking away your own life. And as I said before, please don't have that thought.
Find micro moments of joy. It could be gist with neighbors, listening to music, gisting with friends. Some might be sharing food, eating, like that.
Yeah.
Just something that will just keep your mind off a lot of things. Like, so I practice, what I normally practice is music. It calms me.
Yeah.
Whenever I feel sad, there are certain music that the wordings entailed in the music,
Yeah.
it has a way of calming you down. You just listen to it, it speaks to you, and it's helping you look at the brighter side of life instead of focusing on the pain. Like scrolling through Facebook, you'll be seeing rest in peace everywhere. You hear herdsmen, bandits everywhere, and aside the fuel and the food and everything, there are a lot of things that are there to it. So instead of worrying about something that you cannot actually control or handle, you just look for a way to live with it. Just manage it. It's not that you're forgetting it or not that you're not looking for a way to tackle it, but it's sometimes you need to have time for yourself. Give yourself that opportunity to have peace.
Don't
and
let
just
it overwhelm you.
Yes.
And all of that, And somebody said the mind is a powerful place. What you feed it can affect you in a powerful way. That's the lyrics from a song by NF. He's a good artist. Maybe you should try listening to some of his songs. And please, when you're sad, don't listen to sad songs. Though. Listen to uplifting songs.
just
As she said, please. And then you can also try limiting doom scrolling. And by doom scrolling, we mean looking at the negative side of the news, what is happening in the world. Just it's important to stay informed. Yes, it is important to know what's happening, but constantly consuming bad news is not helpful psychologically. It is just going to make you feel so overwhelmed. Now decide when to check the news and when to log off. And your peace is more valuable than endless updates on things you can't fix. Now we are always laying emphasis in every point we make. We are laying emphasis on the things that you can fix and the things that you cannot fix. If you know that this thing is beyond your power, you don't have control over it. Rest. You can't kill yourself over something that you cannot fix.
Never.
So there's so much wrong going on in the world today. And if you're always focusing on that side, and there's so much right also going on, that people that are helping their communities and doing things, that people that are making good innovations that are going to make life easier for people. Maybe you should find a balance between the both of them and not consuming the negative side too much, and also not consuming only the good side, that you become so blind to
look at
the
wrong
things that are happening. So just a balance between both of them.
Breathing and resting the mind is very important.
Very, very important.
There are times that you sit back, breathe, just stay silent, away from all the noise the world is giving.
Chaos.
When you let all these things, it attract things like headache. See, some people start developing high BP and the rest. But when you try, like, these are things you cannot fix. You have nothing to do about it. So, we can actually fix it by walking into it. Me, I somehow believe that this country, the condition of this country is not placed on the government alone. We have our own parts to play. You see, there are things, little things that we can do that can actually contribute. But in the process of looking for what you can do to contribute, try to have time for yourself. Sit down, think, recap on your life, not the bad side, just the good aspect of everything. Just if it's possible, just don't let anything come to your mind. Just stay, just calm.
Still for 2 minutes. It sounds a bit unrealistic, but honestly, it's very realistic. If you try it, if you even picture it, just sit down. 2 minutes. Close your eyes. Feel. All right, and then you can also try gratitude.
It's very important.
Very important. Even in the smallest things, gratitude is important. Learn to thank God for the good things that you have, and even for the bad things that are happening. There are people in worse conditions. You know, the opportunity, one thing that we also used to underrate as humans is good health. If you're able to wake up in the morning, you stand up from your bed comfortably, nothing is wrong with you. You have no idea what God has done for you. I'm telling you. Yeah, other things can come in the future. Yeah, you can now start figuring, if you don't have food stuff, if you don't have things to eat, maybe you can, as the hours come, you never know what's going to happen. You don't know what the future holds. So, but in the meantime, just learn to, give gratitude for the little things you have. It sounds a bit cliche, yes, but it works. Saying, oh God, thank you for this. Oh, at least I go through a lot, but I have food, I have good health, my family is here with me, my friends are here, I have a roof over my head. I laughed with a friend, we talked, we laughed. Some people are even alive, but they cannot laugh.
Some pay for their breath.
They pay for their
Then
breath.
the hospital struggling.
And their family members maybe are somewhere and they cannot even, and still those people, they are not even thinking about, oh my God, life is so hard, as much as you who have everything that they are looking for. So learn to, give gratitude. It might not really solve the problem, but it helps, because everything starts from your mental health. If you don't have peace of mind, you start thinking. Earlier on, Herbert said something about migraine and headache, when you're always constantly worrying about things. That is where some people's addiction starts from. Because when you have migraine, you're always looking for something to take. Before you know, you are now adding another problem to your life. So you see, try to solve your problems instead of adding more to it.
Comparing yourself on social media to people on social media, this is something that a lot of people do.
Yes,
like being a problem to yourself. You scroll through and you see people's achievements, and you will be like, okay, this person is my age mate. So what? Everyone has his own path in life. You don't know how that person got to that place. That person is not posting his struggles. It's just showing you his achievements and everything. The path you're following might be your own path to your own success. Our lives are not the same. We are different people. You cannot compare your life to somebody's life, because this person is laughing on social media. You don't know what is behind the scene. Someone will come up, talk to you, be fine, and some themselves are fake lives. Someone will just come and feed you with what they want, and you'll be there killing yourself, killing your peace, and you feel like God have rejected you or something. But the thing is, they say God's time is the best. Like, just live your life, just follow it a gradual. Everything is a process. You start from somewhere and go somewhere. Don't just expect that you just wake up one morning and you're rich, you're popular, you're powerful.
I have no idea what those people did to even get there.
there are people that involve themselves in a lot of dirty things, and you're there seeing them as, I want to be like this person. You have to work to achieve something. It's, you don't just lie down in your room, scroll through your Facebook, see people, and you want to be like them. What are you doing to be that person? Just let's try to limit the way we compare. No, not just limit. Avoid it, because it affects us generally.
Yes. And you know, as humans, we have a tendency to even always hide our problems.
Yes.
We do not want people to see the bad side of the things that are happening with us. So when something good happens, we just project it on social media. And then when somebody like sees the person's progress, you're like, oh, what am I doing with my
You
life?
feel I'm not important.
You have no idea how long that person has been working on that thing. Probably the person has been doing it for a very long time, and then the fruits of their labor begin to show at that time that you are now seeing it, and you are feeling like, oh my goodness, maybe the person has been doing it for years, and they have even maybe they were almost giving up.
Yes.
But then it just
Their breakthrough just came.
breakthrough came in, and then you're lamenting over somebody else's. So you should just try, do your part, and the rest you figure it out later. But for now, just do what you can. And then last, from my side, is try to be somebody's peace. As humans, we are cynical in nature. We are always looking for where we can get, where we can draw from, where we can take from. We always forget that we have to also, give out as well. If everybody's out for what they can get from from the other person, who is going to give? Nobody's going to give. So as you're going every day looking for, oh, I don't even have anybody that I can talk to, or I don't have anyone I can cry on, lean my shoulder on. Are you somebody that someone else can cry on or lean their shoulder on? You should ask yourself that question. It shouldn't always be what you're going to get from people, but what you can also give. You understand?
Do to others what you want them to do to you.
Exactly. Scratch my back, I scratch your back. It takes this world, you cannot go this life alone. You can't do this life alone.
We all need each other.
We all need each other. So, and everything you're doing, if you take all this into practice.
Hello and a very good morning to you. You're welcome to Frontline Breakfast Conversation, coming to you from Frontline TV. My name is Musa Calvin, your host on the program. And today on Frontline Breakfast Conversation, we're going to take a look at balancing merit with political patronage in Taraba State tertiary institutions recruitment. I'll take it again, balancing merit with political patronage in Taraba State tertiary institutions recruitment. And with me today on the program is Mr. Joseph Nangasabi-Fwachabe, ACA. He is going to shed more light concerning this issue that has to do with balancing merit with political patronage in Taraba State institutions recruitment. Mr. Joseph Nangasabi-Fwachabe, ACA, good morning, and once again, you're welcome to the studios of Frontline TV.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to always have you.
Yeah, thank you, our viewers.
Okay, now as we kickstart the program for today, in recent times, the issue of recruitment into tertiary institutions in Taraba State has raised serious concern. Instead of strengthening the foundations of our universities, polytechnics, and colleges with competent manpower, recruitment has increasingly been shaped by political patronage and personal favoritism. This practice undermines the growth of education, at the same time reduces the credibility of our institutions and weakens the prospects of our young people who deserve quality teaching and also research guidance. Now, it is also equally important to note that Political patronage in recruitment is not peculiar to Taraba State alone. Even federal tertiary institutions are not entirely exempted. Slots are often distributed among politicians, influential stakeholders, and management officials. However, there is a striking difference in how federal institutions manage this process compared to what we see in our state-owned institution. So that is just the beginning of our discussion for today, which is still balancing merit with political patronage in Taraba State tertiary institutions recruitment. So, Mr. Joseph Nahasalifwacha, the ACA, from the opening statements, what can you deduce from this issue of this balancing merit?
Yeah, when we are talking about merit, we're looking at, okay, these are criteria. For example, in our tertiary institution, the entry qualification for polytechnic is first degree. And for you to have, it's not only first degree, you must at least, the minimum is 2-2. A graduate with 2-2 can be offered lecturing job in the tertiary, in polytechnic, college of education, or college of agri. Whereas in the university, the minimum qualification, even though you're not a lecturer, it is called graduate assistant, is still the graduate qualification, which is BSc or BA or B Engine, whatever they call. If you're a graduate, you with 2-1, minimum of 2-1 or first class, you can be graduate assistant, then you proceed for your master's. So, and then recently, with recent happenings, as you earlier
A kind of like favoritism.
Favoritism is coming in. So instead of all these things are not even peculiar to Taraba State alone. They are not even peculiar to state institution. Even federal institutions also are not exempted in such a patronage. However, the way it is done in federal institution, it is not that extreme the way it is done in state institution. In federal institution, for example, a criteria will be set. Let's say they go to seek for approval for recruitment. We have 10 in accounting department. We have 5 in agriculture. We have 6 in physics. We have this. So already, as they are giving you slot, they'll say, okay, we need 2 people who has 2-1 or first class from physics as a politician. What politician will do is that he will go back to his constituency and then look for such a people. So at the end of the day, the institution is going to benefit by getting qualified people, and the politician is going to benefit by getting his own political point. But the major thing is that merit is the key thing. But in our state institution, we don't balance it. What we do is that, okay, we call this politician, you have been given 5 slots. And you know, politician, they have people around them. So what they do is that they look within their team without looking at the qualification of the person. They will send. I know of institution in the state whereby these are specialized institutions, but somebody that studies CRS, maybe third class, is being sent to the institution, and they don't have a single department that teaches that teaches CRS. They don't have CRS department. They don't even have Islamic studies department, but they have lecturers in those courses. At the end of the day, they will send them to general studies. You discover that our institution, most especially the College of Education, College of Agri, College Polytechnics, if you go there, you will find out that lecturers in the general studies are far more than the lecturers from other departments. The key department, like Polytechnic, is a technical school where we're supposed to have graduates who are competent in engineering and other technical courses, so that once we graduate students from Polytechnic, they are already employer of labor. That is how the setting is supposed to be. But because we are not balancing, you cannot teach what you don't know. A third class graduate can learn over time in administration, maybe within the non-academic staff or in the ministry. Over time, he can learn how to manage file, move file, and all those things. But once it comes to teaching, you must know what you're teaching. And you, believe me, our graduate, third class graduate now, you cannot compare them with the olden days third class graduate. If you graduate with third class now, it's just like certificate of attendance. So how will you give such a person a lecturing job?
But is it that the people don't know that these are the basic requirements? Because it hinders the students from actually getting what is needed from the lecturers. So I don't know where you stand concerning.
No, the institution, the head of institutions, they know the basic requirement. But where they are constrained is that once they are given those slots, they don't tie it to requirement. They don't tie it to merit.
Because of where they are coming from.
Yes, but if they tie it to merit, they will get what they want. But at the end of the day, because they give an open slot, a politician send an open, give you a garbage, and you must collect, because one thing, they have their position to protect. So I think in this kind of scenario, the government can give maybe the governor can give the head of the tertiary institution a shield, a cover from the politician.
But has that been done before? In a situation where the government can give that shield? Because it's more or less like they try to even intimidate those in authority in this institution.
Yeah, they also give them the room to do that. You understand? Sometimes once politics is involved, and then you share a slot of what you're supposed to advertise and look for merit. If you are, because we cannot do away with politicians, we cannot do away with political patronage, but we should not exempt the place of merit. We should not exempt the place of merit. If even in the general employment in the state, I am calling upon the state government to look into it. We cannot do away with political patronage, favoritism, but we can also not do away with merit if we want progress in our state. We can decide to do 50-50 or 60-40. Give people, maybe if you want to recruit 100, you can make 40 people to come on merit or 50 people to come on merit, and then share 50 for political patronage. But even the political patronage, you attach the requirement to the politician, because some of them don't know. That is ideal. They don't know, and they have already sent names. You cannot expect them to go back and still change. So once you are giving them slot, you tell them that these are the department you have. This is the available vacancy. Kindly bring 4 people, maybe from let's say electrical engineering. We need 2-1 and above. Please, can you get politician will go to the extreme to get these people from their constituency, because they need political point, and they will give you the best. At the end of the day, you don't have problem with the politician, and then you have the best in your institution, and then the education mantra of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Taraba State, will be achieved, not only by giving us the cheapest education in the country, he also gives us the cheapest with quality.
Now, Mr. Dansibe Fochabi, at the federal level, institutions they have developed mechanisms to balance merit with patronage. Now, while politicians may secure job slots for their constituents, these slots are tied to strict qualification requirements. Can that one be played in our own state tertiary institutions?
Yes, it is possible, and that is what we are advocating now. Let there be, we cannot do away with the place of political patronage. People who are elected, people who are appointed by their constituency, they have been sent to also protect the interests of their people. Even our constitution recognizes federal character. So we must distribute this slot in such a way that it represents the unity of the state. However, we should not do away with the place of merit. There is no local government. Very vital. There is no local government in this state that you don't have people who are very intelligent to teach.
Exactly.
I don't have problem with recruitment in other places where over time with experience somebody can learn. But where I have problem with is recruitment into our tertiary institution for the purpose of teaching. person is recruited to be a lecturer must know the course that he's being recruited to teach. And by doing so, we're going to have quality graduates who, I'm not looking at competition within even the state, who can compete even outside the state and even internationally.
Exactly.
I can give you an example now. I have, because of the privilege I have, I've worked almost round. I've been called upon for interview with international organization, with even United Nations organization. And why? If at all I've been told by a third class graduate, or I just graduated with this kind of high paid graduate, how will I be able to compete? How will they even call? How will I be able to even put my CV in such a way that I will even receive an invite? So I need my brothers, my younger ones who are coming, who are graduating, to not compete within Taraba State, not even in Nigeria. We want to export talent also, so that we can be earning foreign currency into this state.
Well, in case if you're just joining us, you're still watching Morning Conversations coming to you from Frontline TV. And we've been discussing the issue that has to do with balancing merit with political patronage in Taraba State, tertiary institutions, recruitment, and I've been discussing this issue with Mr. Dansabe Fochabe, ACA. Now, as we still progress in the discussion, unfortunately, some of these things that has to do with balancing merit when it comes to recruitment in our tertiary institutions, unfortunately, the same things that is obtainable in other places cannot be said of most state institutions in Taraba, because recruitment is often reduced to slot sharing without emphasis on competence. Competence. Now, in some cases, people with irrelevant qualifications or weak academic records, yes, are employed to lecture courses they barely understand. Now, it's another actual situation that they have to look into seriously.
Yes.
The result is predictable. There's going to be a steady decline in the quality of teaching, poor student outcome, and loss of confidence in our state tertiary institutions. Now, I just want to further go by saying, if Taraba State must protect the future of its education system, then lessons must be drawn from the federal model.
Yeah.
Mr. Dansabe Fochabe, please, where do you stand on that?
Yes, I totally agree with that. The model should be adopted, because as a politician, I definitely know the governor is a politician, so he cannot do away with political patronage, and he has people around who are also having a lot of expectation from the people who they are representing. They should be able to provide job opportunities or create opportunities for them. There is nothing wrong with them creating opportunities for their people. And as I earlier said, every local government in this state has capable and competent people who can be recruited into our institution, well qualified. So therefore, while sharing slot, I think there is not any reason for us to not give them the requirement we want. And I'm calling upon the government and also calling upon the head of the tertiary institution to follow the path of merit. Once they have a recruitment exercise, or they have a vacancy in their institution, they should have a requirement given to these people that they are sharing slot to,
so that it will not just be garbage in, garbage out.
However, they can also advertise some of these positions and call for people who are qualified to be interviewed and be given position. You cannot imagine that, let's say there was a publication that was going around social media that the governor approved 200 in two of our tertiary institutions, and they recruited almost getting to 1,000. And then it has become a problem of ghost worker or not ghost worker. At least if you are recruiting more than 200 in your institution, it is ideal for you to advertise. It is ideal for you to advertise so that all qualified Tarabans should compete favorably. However, where the competition will not be guaranteed, maybe because of political patronage, there should be a certain number or percentage that will also be made for those people who don't know anybody, who the politician cannot be able to reach, so that they will come and show their competence. And these are the kind of people that we will need in the institution, Sometimes people are just given lecturing job not because they from the beginning they have prepared themselves, they want to come and teach. Because teaching profession is a noble profession. So people should plan to come and say, okay, this is my calling, this is what I want to do. Not because somebody just graduated with a class from any institution and he's not doing anything, and then you as a politician, you are asked to bring a slot, you just bring that person that you know that if you are going to send your child, you will never allow such a person to teach your child. Why should we employ such a people in our institution, knowing fully well that we will not bring our children to those institutions to be taught by these people? So that is not good. And I know maybe His Excellency might not be aware of these happenings, but third class graduates are being recruited in tertiary institutions,
which is not supposed to be.
Which it is not supposed to be. You cannot teach what you don't know. So we are advocating that His Excellency should look into this. The head of tertiary institution in Taraba State should take cognizance of this and copy their colleagues from the tertiary institution in federal institution. You give these people slot, but attach it to the qualification, to the merit, so that we can be proud of our graduate from Taraba State.
That's very interesting. I really like that statement. Now, balancing merit with patronage does not eliminate opportunities for political actors, just like you've said, but instead it enhances their credibility. Now, when a politician finds a first class or second class upper graduates, secures a job in a state institution, both the individual and the institutions benefit. The politician still wins political points. The state wins more by improving the quality of his manpower. Quality, take note of that. Quality of his manpower. And building institutions that can compete nationally and globally. Now, therefore, as we continue to advocate for reforms in Taraba State tertiary institutions, our demand is simple. Let merit be the foundation upon which political patronage stands.
Definitely.
How do you
merit shall be the foundation upon which political patronage stands, because once it is merit, every politician knows that, okay, as I'm giving this slot, I'm going for merit. And even if, for example, myself, Joseph Asibefwachebe now, have a brother or somebody who is a politician, I am in this university. What I will be doing is that I will ensure that I study so that I will meet the minimum requirement. In case if my brother is going to create an opportunity for me, he can be able to give me that slot. So now, what are we encouraging? We are encouraging our young people to understand that once hard work pays, and when you study diligently, at the end of the day, you can be located. I know of one of my friends who is now a DSP in the Nigerian police. It is as a result to do so, we should remember the place of merit and the qualification for which person is supposed to be teaching in tertiary institution. If you are to be a teacher or lecturer, there are minimum qualifications. We should not bastardize that, please.
And we should at the same time try to avoid this issue of because I know the person. We should try to avoid the issue of sectionalism, tribalism, even religion. You understand? We should put all those things aside and give education the ample opportunity to thrive in Taraba State and thereby making our institutions of learning a better place, a conducive place, a much more responsible place where people, students will go, learn, acquire that needed expertise, the knowledge, and graduate and also be employers of labor.
Most especially, let me stress that, most especially now that Taraba State Tertiary Institution is one of the cheapest, if not the cheapest, in Nigeria, which is the credit of His Excellency. And once he back it up with quality teachers, the history will remember him. as the pioneer of modern education in Taraba State. And I want, if His Excellency is not going to do anything in Taraba State, once he prioritizes that, history will be kind to him, and we are calling upon him to do so.
You're still watching Frontline TV, breakfast conversation, still coming your way, and we'll be wrapping up in just a few minutes' time. We've been talking about the issue of hiring and firing, and the good work that His Excellency, the Governor of Taraba State, Dr. Abokifas, has been doing to ensure that the people get quality education. And we've been talking and re-emphasizing and re-echoing the issue of balancing merit and
Political patronage.
with
Yeah.
political patronage. Now, our demand is simple, just like we've said, but I want you to round up that issue of the hiring and firing, which it's at his disposal to do for us to get quality education that way.
Yes, as I was saying, is that it is the duty of the media to be able to project the good work of His Excellency, and where any of his subordinate is going against what the governor stands for, it is also the duty of the media to be able to dish out such a person and project it to the media so that His Excellency can see. It's not everything that comes to his desk. It's not everything that he knows, he sees. However, we have a governor who is also a social media person. So the media has a way to reach the governor. So if the governor is doing very well in education by providing one of the cheapest tertiary education in Taraba, in Nigeria, and then he's also pushing to match it with quality, and then some politicians or some head of institution are undermining that because he has given opportunity for them to bring in staff so that there will not be a deficit of lecturers in the institution. Instead of them to bring in people that are qualified with merit, they are bringing people that will undermine the education in terms of quality. It is the duty of the media, it is the duty of us Tarabans to be able to speak it out and advocate for the best so that our governor will see and then see those who are undermining his quality education mantra, which is one of the best things to me that he has done in his administration, because education is key to any nation development. So if you have education not only free from primary to secondary school, you have a 50% subsidy in tertiary education. There is no any state that is enjoying that in Taraba State, in Nigeria, that I know. But His Excellency has provided that. So we must stand as a people to sustain its quality.
And we will still want to say kudos to His
And
Excellency
when anybody
for
goes
doing that.
astray, His Excellency now should implement his power of hire and fire. Fired anybody and hired the new person that is ready to work with his mantra.
Yes. So there you have it. My last final statement concerning this issue is only by striking this balance can we rebuild the integrity of our educational system, restore public trust, and secure a brighter future for our students. Mr. Joseph Dasabufachabi, ECA, thank you so much for coming on to the program, Morning Conversation from Frontline TV. We still hope to have more of your knowledge, your expertise when it comes to dishing out things that has to do with the development, positive development of our dear state, Taraba. Thank you so much for coming to
Thank you very much. On my last note, I want to call on the tertiary institution head for a matter of urgency. If there are people that are with third class, for the love of the people of Taraba State, I am not saying they should sack them, but they should bring them in areas where they will be more productive, not teaching. Okay. Thank you for having me. I'm always welcome here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes,
we'll still be having more of it. Whether you have it, morning conversation from Frontline TV, done and dusted. But stay tuned for the next package. It promises to be very interesting. Musa Kalbi is my name, also in the program. Thanks and have a wonderful day. Bye for now.